What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical, average American here today to react to some very recent news about Greenland. So, according to this headline, several European countries are now sending their armed forces to Greenland to defend against threats from us, the United States. I mean, this is just unbelievable to me that this is actually happening. This is real life, and we are the ones causing all of this. But, to be honest, another part of me completely understands that when Donald Trump literally says, we are going to take Greenland one way or another, Europe has to take that very, very seriously. So, today I want to check out this video and learn more about how this whole situation is developing and what exactly is going on with all these European militaries being sent to Greenland.
Welcome back. Soldiers from NATO countries have begun arriving in Greenland, and more military flights and ships are expected in the coming days. This all comes after Denmark says soldiers from several countries will take it in turns to have a military presence in Greenland. High-level talks at the White House failed to reach...
Yeah, right. So they're starting to mention how there were literally talks at the White House very recently between like Denmark, Greenland, and, the United States. And from what I heard about that, not much came of that. Not much happened, but this is really the bigger news story, I think, following those meetings at the White House, that in response now, all of these different military personnel are being sent from several different European countries to Greenland for the explicit purpose of, creating a defense from, and discouraging what? The United States. It's so crazy, like, as an American, to think that my country is doing this, causing this kind of response. And again, it's not that I'm not upset with how Europe is responding. I actually think it's very reasonable. It's just insane to think that my country is actually threatening to start a war with Greenland, a war within NATO, a war with Europe, a World War III. I don't know, right? I don't want to blow this out of proportion, but it's just a little bit insane here. Like here in the US, I have to say, living here, you would never know that the United States is on the brink of causing a war, Like that is not what people are not talking a lot about this, are not worried about this. Don't get me wrong. There's Americans like myself who completely disagree with what's going on and are extremely worried, but I just feel like most Americans aren't nearly worried or upset enough at what's happening. And I think it's actually because a lot of Americans don't even understand what is happening, which is really, it's hard for me to even wrap my brain around, to be honest. The lack of, people in the US who are fighting against this or concerned about this. It's crazy what we're doing.
An agreement about the future of the island, which President Trump says the US needs for national security reasons. Our Europe editor...
And yeah, that's the line that's being sold to Americans from Donald Trump. He's basically saying like, "Oh, don't worry about it. Like this is a very just reason. You know, we basically deserve to have Greenland. We would be doing Greenland a favor if they could become the United States. And it's a matter of US national security." So, it's off the walls, like the cope and the logic, the reasoning that is being spread in the United States for why this is okay when clearly this is not okay.
Katya Adler reports.
With the fate of their island hanging in the balance, Greenlanders, wherever they were on their icy island, were glued to the headlines. In the capital Nuuk, when we asked, people had a defiant message for President Trump.
We are the owners of this land, and we should run it ourselves.
We don't want to be a part of US, and they should leave us alone.
Like, I'm, I'm just an American. I'm not from Greenland, but I could have told you that most likely people in Greenland are not happy about this. As a matter of fact, it's common knowledge, or at least should be, that Greenland and Denmark have had, ample opportunity if they had any interest in being part of the United States, in Greenland joining the United States, or us purchasing Greenland, or if they had any interest in that at all. They have had their opportunity, especially now. They literally visited the White House to talk about this, to negotiate, or they're not interested. It's not happening. And that's where it should end. But, I mean, if you've seen some of the clips of Donald Trump and what he has said in the last few days, he's said, okay, if Greenland doesn't want to join us willingly, we can do this the easy way, or we can do it the hard way. What? I mean, I just think more people here should be outraged by this whole thing. And yeah, I'm not surprised in the slightest to see that when you go to Greenland and interview people there, they're not happy about what we're doing. So this just confirms what I would have thought.
Meanwhile, 2,000 miles away in Washington, their foreign minister and her Danish counterpart prepared for a closed-door meeting in the White House with the US Vice President and Secretary of State. The first substantial talks between the three parties since President Trump began insisting Greenland had to be his during his first term in office. An intention he doubled down on again before and after talks.
Well, we're going to see what happens with Greenland. We need Greenland for national security, so we're going to see what happens. And we need it for national security, and that includes for Europe.
Okay. It's pretty amazing, that's the rationale, because the logic is so flawed. Nothing about it makes any sense. For one thing, the United States already has a military presence in Greenland. We have numerous deals in place with Greenland where we can station United States military there for the reason of defense. We can already do all of that. We don't have to own Greenland. They're our ally. We can talk about it. We can station defenses. We could work with NATO and Europe to fortify Greenland. We don't have to... The idea that is the rationale for forcibly taking over Greenland, invading it and taking it over, for our protection, and the protection of Europe too. What? I don't think anybody is really buying that. At least I hope not. It's extremely convenient that, and I think the real reason that Trump wants Greenland is it's a lot of land, so it will add to the United States, it will cement his legacy, it will make him feel good, it has a lot of resources and minerals. If we own Greenland, we own all of that. Oh, what a amazing coincidence. I just feel like it's relatively easy to see through the motivations for this, because if this really was motivated by wanting to defend the United States and defend Europe, and we could be doing this in a collaborative, peaceful way. Like, it's ridiculous.
85% of Greenlanders say they don't want to be American, as these protesters outside the US Embassy in Copenhagen pointed out. Their worst case scenario was averted. There was no my way or the highway message from the Trump
Okay.
administration. Instead, a pledge to set up a working group, postponing confrontation to another day.
That's good. Okay. That's some more details that I didn't know. I had just heard that the meeting was mostly nothing. Like, Trump came out of the meeting still wanting Greenland. Greenland and Denmark came out still wanting to oppose the U.S. threats. A part of me really wants to think that this is all bark. This is all just talk from Trump. It's negotiation. Like, Trump is trying to look out of control. He is trying to look threatening and crazy, like he might actually invade Greenland, just to pressure Greenland into coercing them into making a deal, into selling the land and the resources for whatever amount of money. And I hope to God that he doesn't actually have the genuine intention to use U.S. military force on Greenland. That is just unthinkable, man. As an American, that is just... That's... It makes me speechless thinking about it. Actually, like, shooting weapons, like bullets, at our allies? Is that what we've come to? Because now, rightfully so, you know, this headline says a bunch of European countries are sending their military personnel to Greenland to defend it. And it's like, that makes it very, very real. And it's the logical step if you are Europe and you're taking these threats seriously, as you should. So, yeah, it's very conflicting, I think, for some of us Americans who want what's best for the United States, and we love our country, but we just don't agree with what we're doing here at all.
Ideas that would not respect territorial integrity of the Kingdom of Denmark and the right of self-determination of the Greenlandic people are, of course, totally unacceptable.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
yeah. Like, what's next if this happens? The United States can just take over any country that we think is a benefit to our national security? What's next? If we can do that to Greenland, we could do it. That could be the rationale for taking over any country. Like, I don't know. We think we're owed Greenland. Russia thinks that it's owed Ukraine. Like, we're not so different if we do this.
we therefore still have a fundamental disagreement.
They do. Donald Trump insists he has to take this island. Otherwise, Russia and China will. Around 10 Europe.
Why do you have to take it? Defend it. Europe is sending a bunch of people to defend it right now. Those resources should be going into defending Greenland from Russia, not the US. We should be adding our forces there or fortifying it if we are so genuinely concerned. I don't know.
European allies in NATO, including the UK, France and Germany, are scrambling to soon send troops and defence capabilities here. The numbers are unlikely to be dramatic, but the message to the US is meant to be clear.
Yeah.
NATO is here to help. No need to take unilateral action and further risk transatlantic relations.
The message is loud and clear to me. This is huge. And I don't think this is big enough news here in the US. I don't think enough Americans are talking about this or worried about this or expressing opposition to this, what the US is threatening Greenland. I think it's outrageous. And yeah, this just got me so worked up, and I wanted to check this out and learn more about this because this is escalating frighteningly quickly with this recent development. And with Trump, you quite literally never know what is going to happen next, so who knows? I'm a bit scared to find out, but I guess you have to be optimistic for the future, hopefully. At least there were these talks, and that's all it was, talking and negotiation between the US and Greenland, and that's how it should be. Unfortunately, nothing really happened at that meeting. That's very unfortunate, actually. So I don't know where it's going to go from here, but this really concerned me. So I was glad to learn a little bit more about this. So anyway, if you enjoyed this, feel free to give this video a like or leave a comment with your thoughts on these recent developments in Greenland against U.S. threats from us. And if you're interested in more videos like this, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching, and see you next time.